There's nothing sweeter than the holy names of Krishna. You know that slok? Talk about that one later on. So today we're studying from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 46. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is a bit of an elaborate verse, so we'll use Brahma Samhita. We'll try to go very slowly to pick up every syllable. Mano Rata Shruta Tapodayana Svadharma Vakaraho Japa Samandaya Apavargya Prayaparang Pushate Vachendriyanam Patabhavat Yuttana Vatanatam Bikanam. Translation and purport. By His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are 10 prescribed methods on the path to liberation: to remain silent, not to speak to anyone, to observe vows, to amass all kinds of Vedic knowledge, to undergo austerities, study the Vedas and other Vedic literatures, to execute the duties of our Ashram Dharma, to explain the Shastras, stay in a solitary place, and to chant mantras silently, and to be absorbed in trance. These different methods for liberation are generally only a professional practice and means of livelihood for those who have not conquered their senses. Because such persons are falsely proud, these procedures may not be successful. Purport. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 6.115, Kechet kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayanaha agam dundvanti karchnyena nirhanam iva bhaskaraha. Only a rare person who has adopted complete unalloyed devotional service to Krishna can uproot the weeds of sinful actions with no possibility that they will revive. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, just as the sun can immediately dissipate fog by its rays. The real purpose of human life is to attain liberation from material entanglement. Such liberation may be achieved by many methods. Tapasa brahmacharena, shamena cha, jamena cha. Bhagavatam 6.113. But all of them more or less depend on tapasya, austerity, which begins with celibacy. Shukadeva Goswami, which says that those who are Vasudeva Parayana, who are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva Krishna, automatically achieve the results of mauna, silence, vrata, vows, and other methods simply by discharging devotional service. In other words, these methods are not so powerful. If one takes the devotional service, all of them are very easily performed. Mauna, for example, does not mean that one should stop speaking. The tongue is meant for speaking, although sometimes it makes a big show. A person remains silent. There are many who observe silence some day in a week. Vaishnavas, however, do not observe such silence. Silence means not speaking foolishly. Speakers at assemblies, conferences, and meetings generally speak foolishly like toads. Kukakra, kukakra, kukakra. This is described by Srila Goswami as Vachovegam. One who wants to say something should show himself to be an orator, but rather than go on speaking nonsense, better to remain silent. This method of silence, therefore, is recommended for persons very attached to speaking nonsense. One who is not a devotee must speak nonsensically because he did not have the power to speak about the glories of Krishna. Thus, whatever he says is influenced by the illusory energy and is compared to the croaking of a frog. One who speaks about the glories of the Lord, however, has no need to be silent. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends Kirtani and Sadahari. One should go on chanting the glories of the Lord 24 hours a day. There is no question of becoming mona or silent. The 10 processes for liberation or improvement of the path of liberation are not meant for the devotees. Kevala bhaktya, if one simply engages in devotional service to the Lord, all 10 methods of liberation are automatically observed. Prahlad Maharaj's proposal is that such processes may be recommended for the achendya, those who cannot conquer their senses. Devotees, however, already conquered their senses. Sarvapadi manir muktam tatvatapnena nirmalyam. A devotee is already free from material contamination. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur therefore says, Dushtamani tume vishera Vaishnava pratishtara tare nirajanagare tavahare nama kevala kaitava. There are many who like to chant the Hare Krishna mantra in a silent, solitary place, but if one is not interested in preaching, taking constantly the non-devotees, talking constantly to non-devotees, the influence of the modes of nature is very difficult to overpass. Therefore, unless one is extremely advanced in Krishna consciousness, one should not imitate Haridas Thakur, who had no other business than chanting the holy name always 24 hours a day. Prahlad Maharaj does not condemn such a process, but he accepts it without active service to the Lord. Simply by such methods, one generally cannot attain liberation. One cannot attain liberation simply by false pride. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Panakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunattam Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadhaitam Savatutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Ladita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shcha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravane Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesatarine. There's so many different methods for self-realization. Of course, nowadays, nobody's doing anything. I mean, it was a joke. I remember I was studying from the Self-Realization Fellowship, and they had me staring at a candle in a darkened room. And it's a joke. Another rascal, I had to pay $35 for Ein, 35 bucks for Ein. Nowadays nobody's really doing it. Of course, there may be some yogis in the Himalayas doing severe austerities. There's probably a few. I've heard there's some of their Kanavati. But basically, hardly anybody is doing anything for self-realization. And most of it is just so-called self-realization. But we're very fortunate here, we have the actual process for self-realization. To reconnect with our actual identities beyond this material existence. See, right now, my dear Prabhus and Matajis, we're suffering very much due to misidentification with these material bodies. I mean, it's really kind of absurd, you know? It's a bag with stool and urine, pus and blood, thinking it's me. I mean, it's packaged very nicely, you know? Especially the opposite sex. Seems to be packaged very, very nicely, but actually, it's just a bag of worms and stool and urine and pus and blood. Yuck, Yucky. We were kids, we had a little kid's bird, it was called Yucky. Mommy, mommy, yucky, yucky. We said our mother, oh, it's very yucky. So actually it's yucky. Material bodies are yucky. Disgusting, nasty. Especially when we go to the bathroom, we can understand how disgusting they actually are. You see. But yeah, we think they're so nice, you see. This is called the power of Maya, the power of illusion. So we're very fortunate we have this actual means of transcending the body. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we should take this process of chanting Hare Krishna very seriously, that now we can actually get liberated from this false identification with matter. In other words, we're actually spirit, we're not material. And the mantra itself is purely spiritual, it's not material. So, Sangat Sanjayate Kama, one develops one's consciousness according to one's association. So if you associate with spiritual, you become spiritual. So the more you can associate with spiritual things, the deities, the holy names, the Bhagavatam, Tulsi Devi, devotional service, prasadam, all these different things, the more we pack our days full of this, even if you're working a job, yat kadoshi yadisnasi. See how to offer that, the results of that job in the service of Krishna. If you're studying, many of my students are students, not of mundane subject matters. So I advise them, yat kadoshi yadisnasi. You have to offer the result of your studies in the service of Krishna. I want a livelihood, so I can offer that livelihood in the service of Krishna by maintaining its material body, to engage in Krishna's service, and whatever excess income is there, you donate it to the Krishna consciousness movement. That's it. So in this way, we can actually fully dovetail, as I was explaining last night, dovetailing our consciousness with the Supreme Consciousness. We have to find the ways and means to get ourselves connected at every second, you see. No gaps from Maya. Somehow find a way in every situation you're in, from morning until night, to be connecting with Krishna. If you do that, you can even have Krishna conscious dream. See, you have Krishna conscious dreams also. So we have to see how to pack every moment. Let me determine now that every single situation, I'll find a way to connect this situation with Krishna. Whether you're taking darshan, or you're walking down the street, whatever you may be doing, how can I connect this with Krishna? How can I offer this to Krishna? Everything. Every thought, every word, every deed, trying to see how to connect this with Krishna, how to connect with Krishna, 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 Krishna. That's real yoga. Yoga means connect. A yoke. The English word yoke, where you connect the bull with the plow, that's called a yoke. So yoga means connecting with the Supreme. So always stay yoked, always stay connected with the Supreme through the process of bhakti yoga, bhakti connecting. And when you actually get connected, there's no more anxieties. If we're in anxiety, it means we're not connected, or we're only partially connected. If you're fully connected, somebody says, how are you doing? I'm ecstatic, right? If you're actually connected, so, how are you doing, Prabhu? Oh, I'm really ecstatic. By the mercy of Guru and Krishna, I'm really ecstatic. Then you're connected, but if you're not ecstatic, then you're not fully connected. Maybe partially connected. If you're not fully ecstatic, you're not fully connected. So you can judge your own psychic movements, see what's going on in there. Am I ecstatic? Am I blissing heavy? Or am I kind of like, well, I don't know. You can be your own psychologist. You can study whether you're connected or not. No one has to tell you whether you're connected. You can tell by analyzing yourself whether you're connected or not. You see. If you're in anxiety about, like, I gotta have this, I gotta have that, I need this. You're not connected. Because actually everything we need is right here, right now. Krishna, all we need is Krishna. We don't need anything, you understand? We don't need anything except Krishna. All we need is Krishna and nothing else. When you have Krishna, everything is there. If I'm thinking, well, besides Krishna, I have to have this. You're not connected. So we should not cheat ourselves of wanting anything except Krishna. You understand? We should not cheat ourselves by any desire besides be fully sold out servant of Krishna. Krishna will not neglect us. He will Krishna takes good care of his pure devotees. So just have your only desire to be Krishna conscious. I don't need anything except Krishna bhakti. This determination will enable you to enter that transcendental existence beyond the cycle of birth and death. Even while you're sitting here in the material world, you'll be situated beyond the cycle of birth and death. By fully absorbing yourself in total surrender to Krishna. My dear Lord Krishna, I belong to you now, do whatever you want to with me. You can kill me, you can make me a pauper in the street, make me a multi-billionaire. Whatever you want to do with me, I'm yours, do whatever you want to with me. And Krishna will take good care of him. Haitake patiyata. Unmotivated. For those who are unmotivated in interruption, I preserve everything I have and carry with every life. So do you trust Krishna or not? The American currency says, in God we trust. The trouble is now they have, in Trump we trust. Or something else, you see. In God we trust. See, we have to, do we fully trust Krishna or not? Do I fully trust him or, well, I don't know, maybe. Maybe I trust him. No, we have to be absolutely convinced I've got no shelter but Radha and Krishna. Narottam prays like that. That nice bhajan, you know that nice bhajan? Prabhupada translated in English. Although I've come to this human form, my Lord, I've spent my life uselessly. I did not care to serve Radha and Krishna, so I swallowed poison foolishly. Hare Krishna mantra comes straight from Krishna Loka, but with chanting I have no connection. Day and night I'm burning in this dark world without working to make the correction. Lord Krishna comes as Sachi's son, Balaram descends as Nitai. By chanting the wretched have all been saved, including Jagai and Madai. O my Lord, O son of King Nanda, together with Vrishabhanu's daughter, I've got no shelter but Radha and Krishna. Humbly praise Narottam Das Thakur. So we have to learn from Narottam. Narottam's our guru. We have so many gurus here. We have the whole disciplic succession to train us. We had Bhaktivinoda, Narottam, Gorkashur, we got Prabhupada, all the previous acharyas. They're flooding us through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Being flooded by all these facings of the great acharyas. So Narottam says, I have no shelter but Radha and Krishna. So that's our position. I have no shelter but Radha and Krishna. My bank accounts, my husband, my wife, my family, my dog. We see them in America, often in our neighborhood, they're out walking their dog. Their dogs are walking them, actually. The dog wants to go for a walk, so the master has to take them for a walk. My dog is not my shelter, my Toyota, whatever, my bank balance, my big position at XYZ Corporation, my wife, my kids, my house. I have no shelter but any of these. None of these can give me any shelter at all. It's only a false shelter. One of my students keeps fighting me again. He's saying that, but Gurudev, without money, we're dependent on money, actually. Not dependent, fully dependent on money. But you can't eat. Can you eat your money? Now it's not even paper anymore. It's just on bits, off bits, and off bits inside the computer system. It's all the computer. It's all a series of off bits. At least when I studied computer science, I don't know if they changed it. It's all a combination of on bits and off bits. Whole bunches of off bits and on bits. Is it still like that? Yeah, confirmed. It's still true. Off bits and on bits. That's all it is. And can you eat off bits and on bits and electronic? And they say, well, Guru, they say, well, you have to have money to buy the seeds, Gurudev. But the seeds produced by money, can you use the money as seeds? Seeds are also, everything is given by God. So even materially, money is money is not our shelter. Krishna is our only shelter. So we have to realize, and even this water is given by Krishna, you see. The air, everything we have. So we have to really become convinced, even this chair I'm sitting on, even this body, even the ability to move these hands, play the harmonium, to be able to speak this class, even the knowledge that I'm speaking to you, I have claimed nothing, nirmama, nothing is mine. It's all Krishna's mercy. So let us give, there's an old saying, give credit where credit is due. The popular saying in English, America. I have been saying in India. You have to give credit where credit is due. And that's one of the sayings in America. You have to give credit where credit is due. If you don't give credit where credit is due, you're cutting yourself off. So let's make it so stupid to cut ourselves off. We may go on for some... actually, this modern-day civilization has cut itself off from God. That's why it's falling apart more and more and more and more and more. And the whole thing. When I was in my parents' day, the President of the United States could ride down the street in an open convertible, nobody would shoot him. He didn't have to have guards all around him with guns. In my parents' day. And then when I was a kid, John F. Kennedy went down the street in an open limousine, he was shot dead from a building. So gradually, now there are mass shootings. The new American sport is called mass shootings. Even a girl did it recently. She went to the school and shot about maybe 10 people dead, and they went home and shot. He shot her mom dead, her sister dead, she shot herself dead. This is a common thing in America now. It's called mass shootings. Practically every other day there's a mass shooting in the U.S. now. It used to be baseball and football. Now it's mass shootings of the new national sport. The whole thing is falling apart more and more and more and more. Because they're taking God out of the center, you see. Take God out of the center. So don't take God out of the center of your life either. See? If we take God out of the center, but we're being anxiety. You see. You can actually look at somebody and see if they're blissful, they're in anxiety. The face is the index of the mind. There was two boys I was meeting with yesterday. One was all fired up, and the other one looked kind of dead, you know. So I asked him, what are your problems? He admitted, yes, I'm lacking enthusiasm I once had as a young devotee. So I preached him for about 20 minutes how to get fired up. He left the darshan all fired up. He said, the secret, I told him, is ask for it. Do you want enthusiasm back? Ask for it. You think Krishna is out there nowhere, in nowhere's land? Krishna is right there with you at every minute. If you have some difficulty, just talk to Krishna about it. He's a supreme psychiatrist. You don't need to go to some karmi psychiatrist with your mental problems. Sometimes devotees this idea, you got to go to a therapist, you have some mental problem. Krishna is the supreme therapist, if he's free also. Having some mental problems, talk to Krishna about it. Well, Krishna, I have this problem. You think Krishna's imagination? Krishna knows you better than any therapist can know you. Krishna knows exactly your history, what you're feeling, and he knows everything about you more intimately than you can even imagine. Krishna knows everything. So I talked to this boy I said, talk to Krishna. Krishna, I'm lacking enthusiasm, please help me get it back. And by the end of the meeting, he was blissful. You could see it changing, like the sun rose in his heart. You could see it in his face, he said. So you're feeling miserable, you're confused, you're bewildered, talk to Krishna about it. Krishna doesn't want you to be confused and bewildered and anxiety. Krishna wants you to be ecstatic, full of like a whole volcano of volcanic eruptions of ecstasy spewing out of your heart and all over the whole world, you see. He wants his devotees to become tidal waves of ecstasy who can spread the Chaitanya movement all over the whole material existence, actually. Why only one measly little planet? Jagat Guru means the spiritual master of the whole universe. And the universe also can mean the multi-universes, the whole material existence. So we're all meant to become ambassadors of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to awaken all the living entities throughout all material existence to Krishna consciousness. So you got to be fired up. If you're anxiety, there's something wrong with your consciousness. If you're not blissing out, you're missing out, you see. So don't try to be, the key is don't try to be the enjoyer, but try to give pleasure to Krishna. That's the key. If you're not happy, that means you're not giving pleasure to Krishna. Don't try to be happy independently. Try to be happy by try to think, speak, and act in a way that pleases Krishna. How do you know how to do that? Read the books. It's all there in black and white. Read the books. What does Prabhupada say? Every day, everybody must read from Prabhupada's books every single day. Otherwise, you're cheating yourself out of Prabhupada's darshan. If Prabhupada was here in Mayapur, anybody could go for a darshan, would you be lining up? On my own private darshan with Prabhupada, I'm lined up. But you have your own private darshan. I expect this, in the class of the morning I explained this. You have your own private darshan with Srila Prabhupada available right now. It's right there. Open the book. You got your own private darshan with you and Prabhupada. Wow. So the tools are there. Everything you need. Everything you need to be bliss and happy 24 hours. Maybe you should take that. Bring more water. Krishna is the supplier of the water also. Krishna is the supplier of the water. It even says on the taste of water. As I many times explained, my first lecture of Prabhupada, he said, Krishna is the taste of the water. Every time you're drinking water, if you remember that Krishna is the taste of the water, immediately become Krishna conscious. So if you're having trouble with Krishna consciousness, drink some water. Good, I didn't have trouble with my Krishna, just drink some water. All you gotta do is come back, just drink. So you're miserable, drink some water. Remember Krishna, you don't need LSD. Hippies are taking LSD to bliss out, and go into some other so-called dimension. LSD dimension. You don't need anything, just drink some water. Remember Krishna is the taste of the water, you see. So my dear Prabhus and Manaji, do not do yourself a disservice by remaining in the mental platform. Get off the mental platform, use your brain, use your intelligence to realize you got to get off the mental platform. The mental platform is dragging us down. You say, get off that damn mental platform. Say, I'm not this mind, it's a tool. Don't let your mind be your guide. You be the guide of your mind, you see. Don't let your mind guide you. See. Don't be misdirected by your mind, you see. Use your mind as a tool. Don't let your mind direct you how to feel, how to think, and how to act. You learn how to think, feel, and act according to what Prabhupada is explaining in his books. You'll be amazed what happens to your consciousness. As I said in today's Thought for the Day, anybody read it yet? Thought for the Day?
Didn't come yet.
Oh, it comes, yeah, it hasn't come yet. I'll give you a sneak preview. In America, it comes at 11 o'clock the day before, but here it's, yeah. So anyway, no, they're getting it later tonight. Anyway, but whatever. So anyway, there's 3 different levels, 3 different zones. You have your comfort zone, you feel all comfy. You have your stretch zone, you try to push yourself a little bit beyond your comfort zone. That's what's called the panic zone. You freak out. You freaked out, the panic zone. So the key to Krishna consciousness, you stretch, you keep stretching your comfort zone. Stretch it, till finally the panic zone is part of your comfort zone. The ultimate panic is, what's the ultimate panic called? Death. That's the ultimate. So you stretch your comfort zone to where even death is a piece of cake with icing on it. Maybe an ice cream and cake, how's that? Even death is ice cream and cake. Learn how to stretch your comfort zone to even the most devastating situation become ecstatic. One disciple is writing me, he's having difficulty. I told him, write me every day. He's having a lot of mental problems. I said, write me every day. Let me know what's going on. I'm giving special treatment. Anybody who wants special treatment, you're all welcome, by the way. I'm very accommodating. But I tell him, write me every day, tell me what's going on. And he says, well, today a little better, but still some disturbance. Some disturbance going on, Gurudev. But I said, well, learn how to take disturbance as a blessing. And actually, if you learn how to take disturbance as a special blessing. Understand? Take disturbance as a blessing. And then, even when you're disturbed, you're ecstatic. Just imagine how ecstatic you'll be when there's no disturbance. If you take your disturbance as a blessing, then how much ecstatic you'll be when there is no disturbance. But actually, Kunti said disturbances are better. You know that Vipadasana. Kunti was saying, I don't like disturbance. Disturbances are the best. I'd rather be in a disturbed condition. We're disturbed without being begging for it, isn't it? I can see some of you are disturbed, looking at your minds. I can see some of you are very disturbed right now. I can look at your face and see disturbance is lingering there. Disturbance, 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 disturbance. I can read your minds. I'm not going to name any names, but I can look out and see certain devotees are having disturbance issues going on in psychic disturbance issues going on. So don't be disturbed by disturbances. Take them as a blessing. Take your disturbance as a special nectar. Take them as special nectar. Wow, I'm so much blessed. It's like I've been through a lot of disturbance for my beloved GBC brothers just recently. So I was devastated for some time. I learned how to take it as a blessing, you know. Called step on the head of a disturbance into the land of transcendental bliss. So if you do that, then you'd be amazed. If even the most disturbing situation is a source of ecstasy. Just imagine how much you can be overflowing with bliss 24 hours a day. And how powerful you can preach also. There's a nice verse I want to talk about today, if I can remember the Sanskrit, or Bengali. Vatsha vegam manasakrodha vegam jiva vegam mudaro pasta vegam itanvetan yo vishaheta dira sarvambipam asabarbipimam pratifim shishishya. We can conquer mind, words, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, can make disciples all over the world. So I ask you, what is more ecstatic? To get some cheap thrill out of gratifying your tongue, cheap thrill of filling your belly, becoming a big Brahmin belly, or being able to have fun with sex? You see? A cheap thrill of temporary sex pleasure. But what is more enjoyable? To be able to make be able to make disciples like anything, be a powerful spiritual leader who can make disciples all over the world. What's more ecstatic? To be a powerful spiritual leader who can inspire thousands of people to become Krishna conscious and to have a little cheap thrill with tongue, belly, and genitals. What do you think is more ecstatic? A few seconds of sex pleasure, or being able to inspire thousands of people to take to the path of Krishna bhakti? What would be more thrilling or exciting or adventurous? Any dumbwit or blockhead can understand the difference. So become one who can conquer his mind, words, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals. Can make disciples and all them. Well, I'm not initiating guru. How can you can make disciples for your Guru Maharaj, you see. Are your disciples for any of these? We're not saying canvas for your Guru Maharaj. That's taboo. Because we're a multi-guru ISKCON. So you canvas become Prabhupada Nugas. Whatever guru they want is fine. Wherever they feel they're best connected, let them go. Encourage them in that direction. Not that you have to become disciples of my guru. That's called canvassing. It's illegal. It destroys the idea of a movement where we're all serving Prabhupada. So make grand disciples, in this case. You see. Around we have great grand disciples too. Those boys yesterday, they're great grand disciples of Prabhupada. Some may say, well, I really missed out. I didn't get to be a Prabhupada disciple. I missed out on the nectar. But you know what? You know that? Prabhupada said the father is more affectionate to the grandchildren than he is to his sons. The grandsons get more mercy from the sons do. So I told these boys they were great grand disciples. I'm envious of you. You're getting more mercies from Prabhupada than I am. Because you're not only grandsons, you're great-grandsons. Those two boys, they're great-grandsons. You see. So I'm envious of you boys. You're getting more nectar than me. You see. So in this way, we have to understand if we just bring our senses under control, we can have a powerful, powerful impact on world history. In other words, those devotees who control mind, words, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, they can actually turn this upside-down world right side up. So that sounds a little better than a temporary pleasure for the tongue, belly, and genitals. Able to turn world history right side up. Be one of the great saviors of world history. You see. So it's up to you. You can be an idiot if you want to be a blockhead or a dimwit, you're welcome. You want to be a dimwit and a blockhead or a nitwit, go ahead. You want to be, Krishna's not going to force you. But if you hear from the bona fide spiritual master and it makes sense, it actually makes sense to you, then why not act it out? If it doesn't make sense, then inquire. Well, Gurudev, it doesn't make sense to me. It goes beyond my comprehension. It doesn't make sense, then inquire. Because this is a science. And it's perfect knowledge coming down from the previous acharyas, coming from Krishna himself. This is perfect knowledge. There's no fault in it. If we find fault, it's in us, it's our own heads. You see? So if you don't understand something, you must inquire until it all makes perfect sense. So that being said, I think we're 10 minutes over time already. If there's any questions, I can try to answer them. Dr. Allison has written big, big, big things. These are, Dr. Allison, this is a private question regarding your neck beads. That is not something for the Bhagavatam class. Yes?
Srila Gurudev, I thank you very much for what you have made us understand how to deal with anxiety, and then we can talk to Krishna. But actually when I am in anxiety or something is disturbing me, how to get back quickly and not take a lot of time because it affects and...
Yes, go Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Actually, you can come back instantly. Just like you're driving on the road, you start going, let's say you're driving down the highway and you get distracted and you start to go off the road, just drag the steering wheel and get back on track. You can go back instantly. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And if you're having trouble doing that, saying, Krishna, I'm having trouble, get back tuned to you, help me out. I want to be fixed, I want to be tuned in, but I'm being diverted, please help. Ask Krishna to help me, will. I'm having trouble getting back into the path of bhakti, my mind's being distracted by this and this. Please help me get back, and Krishna will help you. If the child is crying for the mother immediately comes. So Krishna is like your mother in one sense. If you be a crying child and Krishna made, like Radharani is the example, yeah, Hare is Radharani. So Radharani is your mother and Krishna is your mother. You just call it Hare Krishna, Radha, mother, your mother and father come running immediately. Oh, our dear daughter is in difficulty. What can we do to help her out? Hare Krishna, you see. Or you can say, my dear Krishna, I'm in great difficulty. My mind being disturbed in this way. I can't even bring it under control. I'm going so crazy with these desires, material desires. Please, please help me, please help me, please help me. If you plead with them, just like you're standing in front of a firing squad and you're pleading for your life, you have to learn how to pray with that intensity. Like somebody's getting ready to shoot you dead and you're begging, please don't shoot me. My husband will be disturbed. If I'm shot dead today, what will my husband feel if I'm dead and gone? You know. So in this way, you have to know how to be a good beggar. Just like sometimes the beggars are out there on the street, you know, And the ones who are more expert at begging, you're more likely to give them. The expert beggars get more. As they say, the duck that quacks the loudest gets the most crumbs. Of course, some of these are real cheaters. I'm still humorous. I remember in one place, one of these Brahmins at a pilgrimage site, I'm one of the local pundits, and he said, you know, he had a little message. I'm a poor Brahmin, please give some dakshina. You know where the message was? It was on his iPhone. So anyway, any questions more? Any questions more? What about, are we on the internet? Let's see if we get some. Okay. Bhakti and Allison also. She's good at asking questions. I give her credit for them. She has a problem with mental stability. She's always... Bhakti and Allison, the best thing is beg Krishna for mental stability. We know you're not recommending because you have a mental stability problem. You do things, strange things sometimes because you're mentally unstable. So the best thing for you, Bhakti and Allison, you beg Krishna. You chant Hare Krishna mantra, and you also talk to Krishna about it. My dear Krishna, I'm having problems with mental stability, please. You can't say, you shouldn't advertise, yes, Gurudev, I'm mentally stable. That doesn't work. You say, I'm mentally stable, that's a sign of mental instability. Because those who are actually mentally stable, they say, the actually mentally stable people, they say, I have no Krishna consciousness. So you should admit to Krishna your mental instability. Instead of saying, yes, I'm mentally stable, you should beg Krishna, please, Krishna, I've had this problem controlling my mind, so please help me bring my back under complete control. Please, Krishna, you bless me, I can become mentally stable. Don't advertise you're mentally stable. That shows you're unstable mentally. The pure devotees say, I have no Krishna consciousness, my mind completely unstable mentally. So you should say, yes, I'm very unstable, Gurudev, and please bless me, I can now become stable. That's how you become stable. Anything else? Okay. In your health issues, that's not for the Bhagavatam class. But if someone says you have to eat onion and garlic for your health, that's not true. You're talking to the wrong doctor, the wrong health practitioner. Saying you need to have onion and garlic for your health is not required. I haven't had onion and garlic for the last 5 decades. I had no problem because of it. You don't need onion and garlic to be healthy. Anything else? Yes?
You mentioned that we should not allow the mind to guide us, but rather we should guide the mind. We should not allow the mind to allow it to have some thinking, feeling, willing. But the thing is, by the time I realize it's already in control. So
the mind does take us over, it's a fact. And then sometimes the mind carries us on. Even devotees fall down sometimes because they follow the mind's dictates. They fall down and do something they shouldn't have done, like illicit sex, for example. The mind carries them away. So you realize the mind has dragged you away, you've already done some very stupid, ridiculous thing. Then you just have to realize it and admit, I did this and it's wrong, so please, Krishna, bless me, I'll never do it again. You see? It's never too late to bring your mind under control. Even if your mind was under control, you had illicit sex, for example, because it's not that now I fell down, I had illicit sex, now I'm a hopeless case, I'm just surrender to Maya. No. You realize I did something wrong, say, okay, now I've got to be more heavy with my mind. Instead of light with them, I've got to be heavy with my mind. My mind's a real rascal. It's like sometimes the parents have to spank the child. It says, spank the kid, he's too naughty. Give him a good spanking, right? So we have to spank the mind, you rascal. Give a good spanking. Jumanacharya did, he would spit at his mind. So you got to be really heavy. Sometimes the mind really carries you far off the track. You got to be really heavy with the mind. Okay, now you rascal mind, you drag me way off the track, And now I'm going to be very strong with you. From now on, I'm not going to give you even a slight inch of deviation from Krishna Bhakti. Now you must be completely, totally, 100% locked into Krishna consciousness in every situation. So when you see the mind, previously you gave your mind some slack, and that's why you got diverted. So now no more slack for the mind, no more leniency. You can't be lenient with your mind. Leniency of the mind leads to fall down. Don't be lenient with your mind. You have to be no leniency, and now strictness only. That's it, finished. Because super strict with your mind. Understand? Yeah. Leniency leads to fall down, even for 1 second. Like that what was his name? Ajamil, yeah. Ajamil? No. Yeah. He's just walking out. Here's a pucker Brahmin boy, and there's a couple having illicit sex on the side of it. He just looks for a minute. Oh, wow. Look like they're having some fun over there. It's just that 1 second he looked over and thought it might look like you're having fun. That one thought led to his fall down. Looks like they're having fun over there. Having illicit sex on the side of the road. Was it Ajamil?
We are busy here, you can.
What's that? Oh, yeah. I'm going 20 minutes overtime. So anyway, don't cut your mind, don't your mind have a chance even for 1 second to contemplate sense gratification. As soon as your mind starts contemplating, dayata vishayam pumsa, even 1 second, mind, that's it, cut it right now. Be very strict, no leniency at all. Even 1 second awaken, drag you down to total degradation. So many buddies have left ISKCON because they give their mind a little slack. How many buddies have blew from ISKCON? They gave their mind a little slack and dragged them away. Don't give your mind even 1 second of slack. Strict with that rascal mind. So that's it, our time is up. We thank you all for tuning in. Take this process seriously, your lives will be unlimitably sublime. Thank you very much.